Hello, everyone. We are going to do a fun article again today since it's Friday. And today's article is on the Major League Baseball draft pick, the first pick, the number one pick for that. So we will get started for our News to You Friday article. We are in sports news, and here we go. The 2020 MLB, which is Major League Baseball, draft is June 10th and 11th. That was 2 days ago and yesterday. Today is the 12th of June. Major League Baseball teams pick new baseball players during the draft. The Detroit Tigers baseball team had the first pick on June 10th. They picked 20-year-old Spencer Torkelson from Arizona State University. Spencer was a first baseman for his college baseball team, but he's going to be a third baseman for the Detroit Tigers. Usually, the MLB draft takes place in a city, and Spencer would have been invited to come, but this year the draft was online because of the coronavirus, so Spencer was home with his family. Congratulations to Spencer. So each team has their own mascot, and I think we've talked about that before. So the baseball team was the Detroit, Michigan, are the Tigers. That was their mascot. So this guy he went to school in Arizona, and they said that he was a first baseman. That means he played first base. He covered first base. And he's going to be covering third base. So for the first pick, over all the other baseball players, they were the one they decided to choose him. He was the one that they decided to choose. So if you want to take a look at the symbol sticks version of this, we have MLB, Major League Baseball. Say that 5 times fast. And the draft was the 10th and 11th. MLB teams pick new baseball players at the draft. The Detroit Tigers picked the first player, and the guy's name was Spencer Torkelson, only 20 years old. So super young. I'm sure he is very excited. So let's go over a few of these questions and see if you remember, since we've talked about it for a little bit. Now you've seen and you've heard, what do Major League Baseball teams pick at the draft? MLB, what do they pick? Do they pick football players, baseball players, or basketball players? And if you need to, remember, we can always go back and look. If you forgot what MLB means, we can see in the second line here, there's that MLB symbol, and there is a baseball and a bat. Do we see any other sports on this page? I don't. So let's go back, and we're going to answer and find that same symbol of baseball players.
Baseball players.
They're holding gloves. It probably would have been a good idea if they had a bat there as well, but they didn't. So baseball, and we could have looked for the word baseball over there too. What team picked Spencer Torkelson? Was it the Detroit Tigers, Boston Red Sox, or Houston Astros? Again, we're going to turn back to our pages before and see if we can see the team name. Here is a name, and here is their symbol for their team. So if we find this symbol over on our answer side, it's probably the right choice. So here is a D for Detroit.
Detroit Tigers.
I thought there might be a tiger there, but there wasn't. It was a letter D in blue. And then we found it earlier in the story as well. We clicked it, it said it was right. Nice job. What college did Spencer play baseball for? So this was before he got drafted, before he was picked by the Detroit Tigers, before he went to the MLB draft and was the number one pick. He played for a university. And do you remember what university that was? Remember, he played first base for them in college. Oh, I see a school right here. There is a picture of a school. It says Arizona State University. So we're going to go back to our answers and we will see the same picture right here, and it says Arizona State University. Let's click on it and see if we're right.
Arizona State University.
And we are right. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed that story. We can go back into the breaking news into our sports edition if we want to learn any more about the MLB draft. This was an article from the 8th that we can go over quickly. And it talks about, in sports news again, how the MLB draft is June 10th and 11th. MLB baseball teams, which is like saying Major League Baseball teams, pick baseball players at the draft. The MLB baseball teams take turns. The Detroit Tigers team will pick the first player, and they picked who? Spencer Torkelson, a 20-year-old from the University of Arizona, or Arizona State University. I think those are two different schools. So Arizona State University. This year, the draft will be online. Remember, they said usually they bring all the baseball players to one area, but they can't this year because of the coronavirus. So the draft is online this year because of the coronavirus. But many people got to watch it still, and they could watch on TV, computers, and other devices. So maybe they're watching on their phones. Did you watch the Major League Baseball draft? So again, we're going to go through these questions. What was June 10th and 11th? I hope you recognize this symbol right here. It was the Major League Baseball draft.
MLB draft.
And we talked about it a little bit in our previous story, so I hope you remember up here, what do MLB teams pick at the draft? Do they pick football players, baseball players, or soccer players? And hopefully you remember that it is baseball, because it's even in the question. What do MLB baseball teams pick at the draft? Baseball players.
Baseball players.
And then what team picked first? What team picked the first player? Or we could say, who picked the first player? And what team was that? It was it the Tampa Bay Rays? It was not. Was it the St. Louis Cardinals? Or was it the Detroit Tigers? And I hope you remember
Detroit Tigers.
This symbol being from the article before. And there's our answer. We got them all right. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun version of News to You articles, reading comprehension. And I'll see you at our next lesson.